Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to another presentation of high school baseball on the Region Sports Network, on the key 90.5 FM WRTW, and also online at regionsports.com. We come to you today from Lake Central High School as the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers present the Lake Central Indians taking on the Crown Point Bulldogs in a DAC showdown. My name is Nathan Laird. I'll have the play-by-play for today's game, and joining me with the color analyst is Tom Branken. Good afternoon, Tom.
Hey, good afternoon. Nathan, how we doing?
Doing good. Going to have a good one out here today at the brand new Lake Central High School baseball field. New facilities here at LC. Still under construction is the football field right behind us. Baseball field, though, with the artificial field turf. Absolutely gorgeous. And as I mentioned, we should have a good one out here today. Crown Point won the first matchup between these two, 2-0 just a couple weeks ago in a game you heard here on the Region Sports Network. So it's time for the Lake Central Indians to offer some payback.
Yeah, it should be an interesting game. We got great weather. I wasn't sure we'd get this in tonight or today, but it's clearing up, light clouds, and beautiful day for baseball, really, temperature-wise.
Yeah, I agree with you with thinking we weren't going to get this one in when you looked at the weather report over the course of the weekend for the pretty much this entire week. Rain is in the forecast pretty much every day, and today was supposed to be the worst of it, but just a few sprinkles this morning. A little bit overcast here, but that keeps the temperature down, which players and broadcasters approve of.
Yeah, there's a little humidity in the air, so it's a great day to get your arms loose and everything. And with this field, even if it did rain a little bit, they can handle it with the artificial surface. What a beautiful facility they've got here.
As I mentioned, the football field still under construction behind us. That's going to have the artificial surface as well. The softball field does here at Lake Central High School. If you haven't had a chance to come out here, check out a game before, I highly recommend you do so before the 2015 regular season comes to an end and the tournament starts. Lake Central won't be hosting any postseason events, so come on out during the regular season. Check out a game here at the renovated Lake Central High School. Region Sports Network coverage of high school baseball on the internet at regionsports.com and on 90.5 The Key WRTW is underwritten by the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers, the MVP of MPGs. The Crowell Companies, your insurance superheroes. Berry Brothers, a tradition of quality and service since 1946. McShane's Business Products and Solutions since 1921. The Lake County Agents of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Strachan Van Til, where fresh is more than just a word. Christensen Chevrolet and Highland, driving the American dream. The concussion clinics at Community Hospital in Munster and St. Mary Medical Center in Hobart. Misprint in Munster and Hammond for custom print, design, and signs. Morris Baseball and Softball Center, providing elite instruction. The Randall K. Miss Accounting Group, putting the numbers to work. Jack's Warehouse, great entertainment for the whole family. Triple Crown Baseball and Softball Academy, where the All-Stars train. Casa Maria Banquet Hall in Dyer, making your special event an unforgettable experience. Langle's Pizza in Highland, Cherville, and Crown Point. Northwest Oral Surgeons, over 40 years of experience in Munster and in Cherville, and by the Town Club Restaurant, steak and seafood for over 65 years. Once again, my name is Nathan Laird, along with Tom Branken. This is a Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers presentation of high school baseball here on the Region Sports Network. You're listening to the Misprint pregame show as we get set for the first pitch coming up in just a few minutes. So why don't we take a timeout? When we come back, Tom and I will have the Strachan Van Til starting lineups for both teams in today's ball game. You're listening to high school baseball here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Regionsports.com. Your local Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers are proud to be contributing members of the community here in Northwest Indiana. Your local Chevy dealers also pride themselves on their commitment to help you find a vehicle of your choice at a Chevy dealer near you. Our website is ChevyDriveChicago.com. Once again, that's ChevyDriveChicago.com. We look forward to serving you. Chevy runs deep.
At the Crowell Companies, our customers are more than just numbers on a ledger or anonymous people who sign up online. Our customers are the families we see at the ball fields, the grocery store, and all around the community. That's because for nearly 50 years, the Crowell Companies have been part of the community right here in Northwest Indiana, offering personalized custom services that only a local company can provide. For home, auto, and business insurance, it's the Crowell Companies, 923-2131, and online at crowellinsurance.com. The Crowell Companies, home of the insurance superheroes.
Strachan Van Til is a full-service grocery and fresh food store committed to the complete satisfaction of you, our customers. We provide you with a friendly shopping experience in a clean, safe environment. Strachan Van Til remains dedicated to the communities we serve by supporting organizations and events that enhance the quality of life, like Region High School Sports on WRTW 90.5 FM The Key. To learn more about Strachan Van Til, we are on the web at strachanvantil.com. Quality service and selection. It's a Strachan Van Til thing.
Concussions occur when trauma to the head or spine temporarily interferes with brain function. Seeking medical care as soon as possible is important in making a full recovery and reduces the risk of developing long-term problems. The concussion clinics at Community Hospital in Munster and St. Mary Medical Center in Hobart have a team of medical professionals experienced in evaluating and treating concussions. If you have a head or neck injury, don't wait. Head to the experts. For a head injury on the field, the court, or the ice, the phone number of the concussion clinics is 219-836-4461.
You're listening to high school baseball coverage on the Region Sports Network and WRTW 90.5 FM The Key.
Welcome back to the Misprint Pregame Show. It's time for our national anthem.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Our national anthem here on the Misprint Pregame Show. This is a presentation of high school baseball here on the Region Sports Network, underwritten by the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers, the MVPs of MPG. My name is Nathan Laird alongside Tom Branken. It's now time to name the Strachan Van Til starting lineups for both ball clubs in today's ball game. Of course, underwritten by Strachan Van Til, where fresh is more than just a word. The website is strachanvantil.com. Starting with the visiting team, the Crown Point Bulldogs. Leading off is the designated hitter, Andrew Atchison. Hitting second and playing second is number 9, Jeff Kozlowski. The catcher, Mark Major, hits third. Mitch Coy, the first baseman, is the cleanup hitter for the Bulldogs. Hitting fifth is the right fielder, Corey Brown. Austin Thomas is the shortstop. He hits sixth. Thane Bukowski is the center fielder, hitting seventh. Hitting eighth is Mike Wathier. He's the third baseman. And rounding out the Bulldog lineup is the pitcher, Alex Ruiz. The Lake Central Strachan Van Til defensive alignment looks like this. In the outfield from left to right, Colin Studer in left, Ben Nissel in center, Jack Keener is the right fielder. The infield from third first, Matt Litwicki at third, Alex Nissel at short. Zach Turnbow is the second baseman. Jake Wisniewski is the first baseman. The battery for the Indians today, the pitcher, Jory Demopoulos. 1-1 on the season. He'll be throwing to Tyler Frank. The catcher, Ryan Ruthroff, is the designated hitter for the Indians in their lineup as well. Lake Central comes in with a mark of 13-3 on the year, 4-3 in the Duneland Athletic Conference. In the latest Indiana High School Baseball Coaches Association, Tom, came in ranked number 5 in Class 4A. Crown Point also ranked as well. They're number 10 in Class 4A. They're 11-5 on the year, but they're 6-1 in the DAC.
Yeah, both these programs have a lot of talent. They've been doing it for a couple of years too, so look forward to this one, and they're being rewarded this year with some nice rankings statewide.
Yeah, they two of the more consistent programs in Northwest Indiana. Crown Point, as I mentioned, that 6-1 DAC record, an impressive win over LaPorte the other day. That was LaPorte's first DAC loss, so that was a big win for the Bulldogs. As I mentioned, they got the first meeting between these two, 2-0, a few weeks ago back at Crown Point High School, and this will be the final meeting unless we see a regional matchup between these, Lake Central and Sectional 1, Crown Point Sectional number 2. But now it's time for the first pitch. Here's Jory Demopoulos to Andrew Atchison. First pitch over for a strike.
That was a good pitch. First pitch, you want to get ahead and pitch ahead right from the start in a game like this.
Demopoulos working quickly with the second pitch. Atchison did not go around. Had to check down to the umpire at first base. It's 1-1 the count. Atchison, the designated hitter for the Bulldogs, leading off. Here's the 1-1 pitch to him. Fastball, strike number 2.
It looks like this umpire's giving that low strike right there. That ball was down a little low, and he still got the call.
We'll see if Demopoulos is willing to take advantage of that. Here he is with the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses outside, even up the count at 2. Here at Lake Central High School, it's 325 down the left field line, 380 in the left center gap, 400 straightaway center, 380 in the right center gap, and 325 down the right field line. That 2-2 pitch, high and outside. Count is full. Jeff Kozlowski on deck for the Bulldogs. Swing and a miss on that 3-2 pitch. Atchison goes down swinging for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that was just a fastball, and it looks like he swung through it, Atchison did. So see how he comes back here. His curveball both times has been away. Looks like it's spinning a little bit. He's got to get that a little tighter here as he gets through the meat of this Crown Point lineup.
That'll bring up second baseman Jeff Kozlowski for the Bulldogs. First pitch to him, another fastball in the inside corner for a strike. Demopoulos working all over the plate. He's been inside, he's been outside, up and down. He's getting all that plate.
Yeah, just getting his feet under him here in this first inning.
Shot right up the middle, base hit for Jeff Kozlowski.
Yeah, he squared that one up pretty nice. That was a good swing right there.
You can hear that one when it came off the bat, that he got a real good swing on it. For the first hit of the game for the Bulldogs, that'll bring up Mark Mazer, the catcher. When these two teams played last time, he was our Crowell Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game, not only for his offensive performance, but he came in as a relief pitcher as well. So Mark Mazer does a little bit of everything for these Bulldogs. And, of course, Tom and I will name a Crowell Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game at the end of today's ball game. Talk about that, some of our other awards here in a minute. First pitch to Mazer, high and inside.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some balls on the ground here to see how fast this infield is. I was talking to Coach Summers beforehand. He said it's really quick.
And there's one of your ground balls to the shortstop. Nissel makes the throw.
Now he bobbled it.
Oh, he
yeah,
bobbled
it.
it. Had to look down at my sheet there.
It'll be an E6.
So the error on the shortstop, Nissel. That puts two Bulldogs on, with just one out here on the top of the first. Mitch Coy, the cleanup hitter, and the first baseman up to the plate.
Yeah, that was a possible double play ball, too, if he comes up with that clean. Would have been close at first, but those are the ones you want to get early in the first inning and get you out of the inning with one out. Now he's going to have to work from the stretch here with men on first and second.
That one's going to get away from the catcher, Tyler Frank. Both runners are going to advance on that wild pitch from Jory Demopoulos.
And that was that curveball. It was low and away.
So some unforced errors by the Lake Central defense here in this first inning could cost them, as Crown Point has runners on second and third, just one out here to open up this ball game. It's 1-0 pitch to Coy. Breaking ball outside again, 2-0.
Yeah, definitely trying to work away here from Mitch Coy.
Coy fouls that one back to the net. 2-1. Corey Brown on deck for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, you brought up the 325 down the lines here. It does get out really quick, the 380 in the left and right center gaps. And you tell by the fence when you walk up, it goes straight out to those gaps from the foul line.
Another pitch that misses low and away. 3-1 now the count.
That was a good pitch there. That's one that one you want in this situation.
Here's Demopoulos' kick and the pitch. Coy hits a sharp ground ball, but it is just fouled down the third base line. That would have scored a pair.
Yeah, Coy was sitting on fastball there, 3-1, probably zoned it up and boxed it and was looking for his pitch. He just got ahead of it.
3-2 the count to Mitch Coy. His kick and the pitch by Demopolis. Breaking ball misses low and away once again. That'll load the bases with Bulldogs.
Now to bat number 10, Corey Brown.
So now after that error by Alex Nissel at short, you've got bases loaded with only 1 out. Completely different situation if we would have maybe got out of that inning.
Corey Brown, that one's going to get away from Tyler Frank. 1 run is going to score. Both runners are going to advance to second and third, and it's quickly 1-0 Bulldogs.
That was another wild pitch in. Catcher couldn't handle it.
Second wild pitch of the inning from Demopolis. So an error and 2 wild pitches. Not starting off well for the Lake Central Indians.
No, and it started off so well. He had the first batter out and lead off, and then he had the walk and then a base hit and then a ground ball and possibly a double play ball.
Demopolis' fastball on a 1-0 count. Inside part of the plate, but gets enough for a strike.
Still 1 out. You're looking to just get outs right now if you're Lake Central.
That one also gets part of the plate. 1-2, the count to Corey Brown. Austin Thomas on deck.
You know, Lake Central's got their middle infielders at second and short at regular depth, and the corners are in, so they may look to cut off the run at home just from the corners, get the out if it's up the middle.
As Brown fouls that one off into his own dugout.
That was a good pitch right there, a curveball inside, nothing he could do but foul it off.
Demopolis takes a step off the mound.
You know, we've got the sun out now. Beautiful out here.
Yeah, judging by the weather reports, was not expecting a day like this today, but it's absolutely gorgeous here. As that curveball misses high. 2-2. Another breaking ball misses low and inside. 3-2. He really is working that right. Our right, low
Yeah,
and
to the
right to us.
left-handed
Yep.
left-hander. He's trying to stay
Yeah.
inside on his hands here.
Yep.
Is what he's trying to do. After being 0-2 and then a foul ball, he's got three balls here.
Here's a 3-2 pitch. That one
Oh, he
almost
walked
hits
him.
Corey Brown. He walks him.
Boy, he was ahead in that count 1-2, and then let him go and got the walk.
Now to bat number 8, Austin.
First walk of the inning from Demopolis. So that'll load the bases once again for Crown Point for Austin Thomas. So Crown Point tries to add to their 1-run lead here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, if you're Demopolis, you're looking for a ground ball here and get a double play to get out of the inning.
That one misses high. 1-0. Lake Central wearing white uniforms, but Houston Astros from the 70s style.
Yeah, I like these throwbacks. The White Sox had them for a while. The Astros
Yeah.
had them.
They've become popular in recent years. Several teams have uniforms like that. So another one misses high and outside. 2-0.
Scary thing is these kids have probably never seen these uniforms live. Us old guys, it's a reality.
I haven't either, so.
You've not, yeah, I'm a
no.
lot older than you, so that's fine. I used to think these were cool when I was 12.
That one is over for a strike. 2-1.
Go way back and say J.R. Richards was wearing these back in the day when he was throwing gas at 100 miles an hour.
I'm waiting for a team to adopt the Pirates hats, the circular type
Yeah,
hats. That fastball from Demopolis is high. 3-1.
he's really working away. I don't know if he's, that's the attack here or if he's just missing away on the right-handers and he was inside on the left-handers. Still the same side of the plate either way.
Here's a 3-1 pitch with the bases loaded. Fastball, strike. 3-2. That's a big pitch there by Demopolis.
Yeah, that was a good pitch. Couldn't tell if Crown Point was on the take there or if he just didn't like where it was on 3-1.
Let's see what he does with the 3-2 pitch here. Misses low once again, so he'll walk home a run. Thomas will head down to first. Major will come in to score for the second run of the game. Coy to third, Brown to second. It's 2-0 Bulldogs. Bases still loaded. And only 1 out here on the top of the first with Thane Bukowski coming up to the plate.
Yeah, Nathan, we talked about another telecast or other broadcasts. He, pitch count's so important. Demopolis had 29 total pitches here.
Wow.
And could have been out of the inning in about 10. But he had the one error and a couple wild pitches, and now the whole inning's mushroomed on him.
Breaking ball, Bukowski misses inside.
He's struggling to find it right now.
Of course, if you're a fan of high school sports in Northwest Indiana, you're familiar with the name Thane Bukowski from his efforts on the basketball court for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I love seeing kids playing multi-sport in this day and age. Not a big fan of specialization. When you're in high school, play everything you can with all your friends, and it's all new experiences for you.
So Lake Central's going to get the pen going. Ryan Ruthroff down in the bullpen for the Indians. As Bukowski's going to hit one over the bullpen for a foul ball.
Lake Central still looking for a ground ball here.
A 1-1 the count now to Thane Bukowski. Bases loaded, 1 out, 2-0 Bulldogs. Hits a ground ball past a diving first baseman, Jake Wisniewski. 1 run's going to score. Second run is coming in. He'll score standing up with a 2 RBI double from Thane Bukowski, and it's 4-0 Bulldogs.
Yeah, he was sitting on fastball and just got it inside and pulled it hard.
Now the bat number
That was a good at bat.
Mike Wathier.
So that'll be Coy and Brown who came to score. Austin Thomas advanced from first to third. Bukowski's going to end up at second. Mike Wathier now at the plate. Still runners in scoring position, only 1 out, and his team's up 4-0. So we're going to have a visit to the mound.
Yeah, that's Coach Summers going out there to talk to his pitcher. You know, Demopolis struggled to find the plate. Now he finds the plate and gets a double down the right field line.
Wisniewski with a nice effort there at first base almost came up with that one, but was unable to haul it in as it got right past his glove down that first base line.
So I wasn't sure if that was going to be a double. Bukowski was flying out of the box. Showed really good speed there.
That's going to be a candidate for our Langle's Pizza Play of the Game, one of the awards we're going to hand out. Underwritten by our friends at Langle's Pizza in Highland, Crown Point, and a couple locations here in Schererville.
You know, it's interesting here for the listeners at home. This is an AstroTurf, or not AstroTurf, but a field turf mound also. There's no dirt anywhere on this field, so you know, Lake Central should be used to it, but it's usually a harder surface, and your spikes don't dig in when you're on the mound. That's a different sensation sometimes for the pitchers.
I know some pitchers really like it. Some, as we talked about in the pregame, aren't too fans of throwing off of it. As I'm sure, you know, a big part of pitching is having a rhythm, having a set routine.
Yeah, and just
each time
feel,
out, and that the field's kind of got to throw it off a little bit.
especially in your feet. You know, that's your base as you're throwing, and before you release the ball, you're planting that front foot.
First pitch to Wathier missed for a ball. He swings and misses at that one. It's 1-1 to the number 8 hitter for the Bulldogs. Alex Ruiz, the pitcher, on deck.
Yeah, that was a good pitch there. That was a curveball.
And he had Wathier way out in front of it. So he fouls that one back into the football field construction site. It's 1-2.
Yeah, to talk about the mound, Highlands Jordan Minch, who's pitching with Class A South Bend right now. When he was at Purdue last year, played at IU, and IU's got this kind of a mound, and he was not a fan of it.
Breaking ball misses outside too. As a Purdue guy, he wasn't a fan of IU in general, I'm sure.
Right. But he said it was just a different feel. He
Yeah.
felt like his foot would give a little bit on the field turf compared to digging in on the dirt. And he just wasn't comfortable with it when he only played on it 2 or 3 times a year. Whoa.
As he gets Wathier looking on that outside fastball, 2 down.
Now the bat number
Can't really blame the batter for looking at that one.
Nope. Second strikeout in the inning for Demopolis. That'll bring up Alex Ruiz, the number 9 hitter. Got a chance to help his own cause. As we still got runners on second and third with 2 outs. Real nice breaking ball over for strike number 1.
Yeah, that might have been his best pitch of the whole
Yeah.
inning right there. Real tight spinning, looked more like a fastball.
So that one gets away from Frank, a breaking ball in the turf, but not far away for the runners to advance.
That was a great block by the catcher there. Really boxed it up and kept it in front of him, especially with men on second and third.
Here's a 1-1 pitch from Demopolis, high for ball 2. And we had a chance to broadcast the first game from here this year, the Lake Central Bishop Knoll game, and you could tell both catchers really struggled how the ball would bounce when it was short, how it bounced off that turf, and the different angles I would have to take to block it. Both catchers struggled in that game with that.
Yeah, it's a different texture for sure, especially for the catchers because everything's a short hop.
2-1 pitch to Ruiz, misses high, 3-1. Atchison on deck, looking to come back up for the second time this inning.
Yeah, Jory Demopoulos just needs to get out of this. He's at 41 pitches so far in this first inning, giving up only 4 runs.
3-1 pitch, way inside. Ruiz will take first base on the walk.
Now to bat number 12, Andrew.
Second issued.
And they've turned over the lineup back to the top of the order now. Crown Point couldn't have asked for a better start to this game.
Perfect way to start. 4 runs, 2 hits for the Bulldogs, aided by a couple wild pitches and an error on the Lake Central defense. Atchison coming back up. He struck out to open up this ball game.
We've got a courtesy runner at first base. Believe it was number 4, Evan Frank.
Here's the first pitch to Atchison. Over for a strike.
Base is loaded with 2 outs.
Breaking ball misses outside, 1-1.
He's really having a hard time locating that breaking ball right now. Everything's really away. He hasn't started any of them on the inside corner. Instead, he's starting them away, and they're getting away from him, even further away from the right-handers.
Swing and a miss by Atchison on that off-speed pitch. He's 1 strike away from getting out of this inning.
Maybe I need to talk about it again because that was a great pitch.
Yeah. Last couple off-speed pitches he's thrown been really nice. So that one just misses high, 2-2. Nice eye there by Atchison to lay off that one. Here's a 2-2 pitch from Demopoulos. That one's going to get away from Frank. Another run is going to score on the 3rd wild pitch of the afternoon from Jory Demopoulos.
Yeah, that one just got away again. To the right-handers, it's outside. He's worked a lot of pitches away from them and makes it tough for the catcher to handle when it's that far out.
3-2 pitch, chopper, fouled on the third base line. So it's 5-0 now, Crown Point on just 2 hits for the Bulldogs here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, the wild pitches are really hurting them, and then the base on balls. It's a big inning to start right now, 5-0 with men on second and third still.
Here's a 3-2 pitch from Demopoulos. He walks Atchison. I got that down for the
bat number 9,
4th walk? Or 4th walk of the inning. As that'll bring up Jeff Kozlowski. He singled and scored earlier this half inning.
Yeah, they've only had the 2 hits so far.
Yeah.
The inning started with a strikeout, too.
So here's Kozlowski. Takes that first pitch inside for ball number 1.
Kozlowski had the first hit of the game early in the inning to right center.
Yep. Hits a ground ball to the shortstop, Nissel. He makes the flip over to Turnbow, the second baseman, to retire the side. But Crown Point does a lot of damage. 5 runs on just 2 hits. There was an error by Lake Central in this inning. So we're going to go to the bottom of the first. It's the Bulldogs 5, the Indians nothing here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois. Dr. Paul Wolf and Dr. Sharif McHale of Northwest Oral Surgeons share over 40 years' experience in wisdom teeth extractions, general extractions, oral surgeries, and dental implants. Procedures are done in a comfortable and relaxing atmosphere with general anesthesia or sedation. Northwest Oral Surgeons features 2 locations in Northwest Indiana. In Munster, the number is 836-0044, and in Cherville, the number is 322-0501. Or you can find us on the web at northwestoralsurgeons.com.
Hey, Hey, it's Tara for Christensen Chevy. Christensen Chevrolet is a local family-owned and operated Chevrolet dealership celebrating over 60 years in the community, serving all of Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland. If you stop in, you can see why families and businesses have put their trust in us for generations. At Christensen, we have an enormous inventory of new Chevys with all of your favorite models in stock, ready for immediate delivery. Because that's the Christensen way. We're Christensen Chevrolet, proud sponsor of our great local high school athletic programs on Indy Boulevard in Highland, or visit ChristensenChevy.com.
You're listening to high school baseball coverage on the Region Sports Network and WRTW 90.5 FM, The Key.
Welcome back to Lake Central High School. Nathan Laird and Tom Branken here on the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers presentation of high school baseball here on the Region Sports Network. Website is ChevyDriveChicago.com. We're in the bottom of the first inning. It's 5-0 Crown Point over the hosts Lake Central Indians. We'll have the Strack and Van Til starting lineups for both teams after this first pitch. That pitch from Ruiz over for strike number one. Batting order for the Lake Central Indians brought to you by, underwritten by Strack and Van Til. Ryan Ruthroff, the designated hitter, leads off. Jory Demopoulos, the pitcher, will hit second. If that pitch misses high, it's 1-1. Zach Turnbow, the second baseman, hits third. Alex Nissel, the shortstop, is the cleanup hitter. Ben Nissel, the center fielder, hits fifth. Jake Wisniewski, the first baseman, hits sixth. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Ruiz. Fouled off by Ruthroff. 1-2. Jack Keener, the right fielder, hits number 7. Colin Studer, the left fielder, hits 8th. And Matt Lickwicki, the third baseman, hits 9th. We'll have the Crown Point Strack and Van Til defensive alignment here after this 1-2 pitch from Alex Ruiz. Breaking ball high to Ruthroff. 2-2. Left field, or excuse me, outfield from left to right. Joey O'Keefe in left, Thane Bukowski in center. Corey Brown's the right fielder. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Nice breaking ball, just misses inside.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a strike there.
The infield from third to first, Mike Wathier at third. Austin Thomas is the shortstop. Jeff Kozlowski, the second baseman. Mitch Coy plays first. And here's the 3-2 pitch from Ruiz. He walks Ruthroff, the leadoff hitter. And the batter, Alex Ruiz, as I mentioned, the pitcher, Mark Major, is the catcher for the Crown Point Bulldogs. That's your Strack and Van Til starting lineup and defensive alignment. Underwritten by Strack and Van Til, where fresh is more than just a word, as Jory Demopoulos comes up to the plate. Takes first pitch fastball for a strike.
Looks like Alex Ruiz likes to rely on that fastball early. Both batters, he started them off with fastballs straight down the middle.
Here's a fastball that misses high, 1-1. As I mentioned, Crown Point up 5-0, 5 runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Bulldogs. No runs, no hits, 1 error for the Indians here in the bottom of the first. Fastball gets the inside part of the plate. 1-2, the count to Demopoulos. Zach Turnbow on deck.
You know, Alex Ruiz is a left-hander. He looks like he's got a decent delivery where he's keeping the runner at first at bay. He started to go back on that last pitch, even though he's coming to home plate.
Looks over at Ruthroff, the runner at first, kicks and the pitch. Swing and a miss from Demopoulos. He's down on strikes for the first out. Looks like he chased on that one.
Yeah, that was a good pitch, just off the plate, maybe a little low and away, but it was one, as a batter, you got to take a shot at.
Yeah.
Demopoulos did and just missed it.
That'll bring up Zach Turnbow, the second baseman.
See if he changes it up here, lefty on lefty, if he goes fastball or curveball first pitch. Yeah, he went curveball, just missed.
Missed outside.
Seems like the lefties are predictable like that. They'll throw fastballs to right-handers. As soon as the lefty gets in the box, they lead off with a curveball.
Yep, they'll start throwing the off-speed and the breaking stuff.
A little bigger lead at first for Ruthroff.
Or he's going to throw over there. Not a quick move, but just making sure Ruthroff knew he was paying attention to him.
Yeah, probably not his best. Never want to show that on the first one.
Nope.
But Ruthroff was a good 2-3 feet more. He's even further this time, leading off from first.
Here's kick and the pitch. Misses high with that one, too. No, they're talking about good moves over to first base. Chris Ramirez and I did the Griffith Munster game last week with Connor Manis pitching, and he's got a heck of a move.
I heard you mention how quick it was. He's right-handed, too.
Yes.
Yeah, you said that during the broadcast.
It was impressive. That's why, of course, he's going to be a Miami Hurricane in a couple years.
At the U. Just like to go there so I could say that.
And you could do the hand signal.
Right.
Fastball over for a strike.
Yeah,
2-1 on the
right
count.
now, Lake Central just needs base runners. Just
Yep.
chip away at this thing.
Once again, Ruiz throws over to first.
Ruthroff's getting a feel for that move. It looks like he was coming over early on that.
Still don't
Getting
know if we've seen the best of Ruiz's moves to first base. I hope not, otherwise runners are going to be all over him today. As Turnbow hits one down the left field line, that's going to roll to the corner. It almost is a ground rule double, as they're going to hold Ruthroff at third. A one-out double by Zach Turnbow puts the Indians in scoring position.
Yeah, that was a good swing right there by Turnbow. Took an away fastball and just pounded it down that left field line and one hop the 325 sign and right on the line.
And that one almost hopped over that fence for a ground rule double, and the shallow corners cost the Indians here, because if say that was 340 to that corner, Ruthroff scores easily.
Yeah, it actually hit the coping on top,
Yep.
the yellow coping that a lot of these fields have, and bounced hard back to the left fielder. And Coach had to hold up his runner at third base because of it.
As Steve Strayer is out on the hill with the entire Crown Point infield, having a meeting what they want to do defensively with runners on second and third. Just one out for the Indians as Alex Nissel comes up to the plate.
For Alex Nissel, are you sitting on first pitch fastball here and drive something to the right side and score the runner?
I think you can expect to see fastball after we saw the way Ruthroff was throwing to the right-handed, or excuse me, Ruth's throwing to the right-handed Ruthroff, and he gets fastball.
Yep. Got a fastball that was up. It was right down the middle, but it was up, and he held off for the ball. The Nissel brothers here back-to-back.
Took something off that one. It gets the inside part. Strike one.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was just a straight change or a curveball that was spinning a little bit, but it was a strike.
Here's the 1-1 pitch from Ruiz. Low and inside for ball number 2.
2-1 here. Alex Nissel can still look for his pitch in this situation.
Well, with a 5-run deficit, the Indians can't get it all back in one swing, but they can definitely put a dent in this lead, and they have to do in a situation like this.
Oh, good swing.
And they're going to do it right now as that one comes off the glove of Wathier. Thought he came up with that one, and he thought he did as well.
That was a rocket fastball inside portion of the plate, and Alex Nissel just turned on it.
So Ruthroff scores. Turnbow is going to end up at third. RBI single for Alex Nissel. I thought Wathier came up with that one. He looked in his glove after that one came off his glove. He thought he had it as well.
Yeah, that's got to be a base hit there, huh?
Oh, definitely. So that'll bring up Ben Nissel, the center fielder. Runners at the corner is just one out. It's now 5-1 Crown Point. Fastball over strike number 1.
Yeah, Ben Nissel, just a sophomore. Good-looking kid, big kid.
Was a starter as a freshman last year, and you got to be pretty darn good to start at Lake Central as a freshman on the baseball team.
Yeah, he's just a good athlete, you can just tell. Wearing number 10, my favorite number. Not that that matters to anybody but me, but just throw it out there.
He hits 1-2. Wathier makes a nice diving stop. He's going to make the throw to first for the second out. But Turnbow is going to score on another sharply hit ball off the bat of Ben Nissel.
Yeah, that was a good swing. Just hit it right at the third baseman and made a nice play.
Jake Wisniewski.
So 5-3 on the putout. But more importantly for LC, I think the run does score, and that 5-run deficit is cut down to 5-2.
Yeah, just chip away. It's a long game. It's still only the first inning.
As Jake Wisniewski comes up to the plate, runner on second, 2 outs. Breaking ball to him, misses inside. Another one misses inside.
I just missed.
2-0 the count. Jack Keener on deck.
This is a big at bat. 2-out runs are huge. Get a man on second here, you make it a 2-run game with a 2-out base hit right here. That'd be a big spot here for the Lake Central Indians.
See, it's a
Ball's hit
fly ball
hard.
to center field. Bukowski running back. It's going to get over his head in the gap as Nissel's going to score from second. Wisniewski makes the turn. He's going to head into third with a 2-out RBI triple.
That was a big swing there. That got to the wall there. That's 380 in that left center field gap. He probably hit it about 365. Neither of the outfielders in left or center could get to it. That ball was just driven hard.
So that'll bring up Keener.
Big 2-out hit there. Make it 5-3, only a 2-run game.
Breaking ball to Keener outside corner of the plate, strike number 1. So last time these two teams played, it was a 2-0 ball game. It's 5-3. We're not out of the first inning yet.
Is that funny how that works? There's another curveball to the left-hander.
Five runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Bulldogs. 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Indians here in the bottom of the first inning.
And they've got a guy at third here, the Indians do. Make it a 1-run game with another base hit.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to Keener. Breaking ball high. They're going to make the throw down to third. Wisniewski back in time.
It appears early that Alex Ruiz for Crown Point likes throwing curveballs and off speed to the lefties.
Crown
Looks like he's
Point
staying away from fastballs against them.
got action in the Crown Point bullpen. Trying to get a number here. Can't really tell. They got red numbers outlined in white on red jerseys. Misses with that off-speed pitch as well. 2-2 now the count. Colin Studer on deck for the Indians.
See if he comes back with a fastball after missing with 2 curveballs.
There's the kick and the pitch from Ruiz. It's fastball right up the middle. Bukowski's charging in, but he's not going to be able to make a play on it. It falls in front of him. Another run is going to score. It's a 5-4 ball game. RBI single from Jack Keener.
That was a good piece of hitting with 2 strikes. Just kept that head in front, got his hands to the ball, and hit a line drive up the middle.
Now to bat
Nicely done. And Lake Central's right back in the first inning. They didn't have to chip away. It's 5-4 already.
That'll bring up Colin Studer, another multi-sport athlete here at LC on the football team. Fastball from Ruiz misses high.
Yeah, you see this a lot. It seems like high school kids, they get ahead of a guy and then they start trying to, just nip corners and be real fine with it, and then they have to eventually come back with fastball the kids are sitting on, and these kids are too good. They put it in play.
There's a fastball over for strike number 1. That evens up the count. Matt Litwicki on deck. Ruiz looks at the runner at first. Here's the kick and the pitch to Studer. Misses high with that one. 2-1 the count.
Alex Ruiz is at 31 pitches already. So long innings when you have to throw that many pitches.
Swing and a miss from Studer on that one. 2-2 the count.
Studer probably like to have that swing back. That was a fastball right down the middle. He's just a little ahead of it, actually.
Two pitch fouled off the mask of Mark Mazer. Five to 4 our score here in the bottom of the first. Crown Point leads the host Lake Central Indians. Here on 90.5 the key. Here's a pitch from Ruiz.
That was a good pitch.
It's a strikeout looking to end the inning, but Lake Central scores 4 runs on 4 hits. No errors from the Crown Point defense. And after 1 complete, it's Crown Point 5, Lake Central 4. We'll be back with the second inning here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois.
Jack's Warehouse, Northwest Indiana's newest indoor family fun center, is proud to sponsor sports on the Region Sports Network. Jack's Warehouse has fun activities for all ages, including go-karts, bumper cars, sky trail, laser tag, and an arcade. Jack's even has glow-in-the-dark mini golf. Located next to Omni on Route 41 in Schererville, Jack's has 6 party rooms available for events and parties. For more information, the website is jakswarehouse.com, and the phone number is 322-JAKS.
Casa Maria Banquet Hall on the grounds of St. Maria Goretti Church in Dyer can serve any event. A professional staff is always on hand to help with decorating, organizing, and catering. 2 large reception areas mean the hall can accommodate up to 375 guests. Casa Maria offers a choice of family-style or buffet catering with a dining area that features large round tables with seating up to 8. Casa Maria sets the mood with a dignified atmosphere that can impress the guests. Casa Maria Banquet Hall, 865-8956. And welcome back into high school baseball here on the Region Sports Network, underwritten by the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. Website is ChevyDriveChicago.com. Nathan Laird and Tom Branken here with you. Action-filled first inning for both teams. It's 5-4 Crown Point over Lake Central at the end of 1.
Yeah, not what I expected after a 2-0 game the first time.
Not at all, as we got a new pitcher here for the Indians. Ryan Ruthroff is on the hill now for them. We'll have the Strachan Van Til scheduled hitters for Crown Point after this first pitch. So that one's in the turf. 1-0. Scheduled hitters for Crown Point, underwritten by Strachan Van Til. Catcher Mark Mazer, Mitch Coy, and Corey Brown. All 3 scored last inning for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Mark Mazer had the ground ball to shortstop that kind of started the inning after a base hit and got things going on the air.
And he's quickly ahead in this count, 2-0. That's 3-0 after that one misses. Now, after the game, Tom and I will name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game, underwritten by the Crowell Companies. They have offices open from 9 to 9, Monday through Friday, and Saturdays till 2 in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City, as Mark Mazer shows his patience, draws the 4-pitch walk.
Yeah, this Lake Central team, you'd think of them as going to the semifinals last year and a state title a couple years ago. They're still pretty young, though. They started 2 sophomores, 4 juniors, and 3 seniors only. It's a young baseball team with high expectations as a program.
And they got young talent, but it's definitely there. Matt Litwicki, a sophomore, is already committed to Indiana University to pitch when his high school career is over with.
Yeah, and their lower levels are pretty loaded, too. I just got to see their freshman team about a month ago, and there's a lot of talent in this program.
First pitch to Coy is a ball. So he hits a pop-up. It's going to carry to center field. Ben Nissel calls off the right fielder Jack Keener to make the catch for the first out of the inning.
It was a good pitch. Came back and found the zone and got the batter to hit a pretty high fly ball to right center that was easily tracked down.
That'll bring up Corey Brown, the right fielder. He walked last inning, came around to score. I'm going to tell you about one of our other awards after this pitch to Corey Brown.
Yeah, you look around, this facility is like a college facility.
It's really nice.
Got the big netting with the huge support poles and nice stands that wrap around from dugout to dugout.
So Ruthroff steps off, fakes a move over to first base. Mazer, the runner, at first. And misses outside. We actually got a courtesy runner, I believe, at first base.
Number 6.
Number 6, that is John Dietrich. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Brown. That one gets away from Frank. Dietrich, who is faking the move, heads on down to second easily. Makes a wide turn, but he's not advancing any farther than that. Another Indian wild pitch.
Yeah, what I noticed it before the game, with this artificial surface here, they've got a real home plate where you can see the black and it's a little raised. So that's twice that Ruthroff's hit the front of the plate, and this time with the runner on base, it hit the front on the edge and then catapulted over both the catcher and the umpire.
Is that one in the turf, but a nice stop there by Tyler Frank.
You know, some places you see where the home plate's just stitched in, and
Yep.
it might be underneath the home plate, but they've actually got a real home plate here. Now you've got a lip of 3/4 to an inch. So that ball that comes up short is going to hit it and shoot off.
3-0 pitch misses. Another walk as Corey Brown heads down to first.
But that was a good pitch right there. I'm surprised he didn't get the strike call.
Yep. That'll bring up Austin Thomas. He walked and scored last inning. Mentioned we got another award to talk about. That's the Berry Brothers Blue Collar Player of the Game, underwritten by our friends at Berry Brothers, providing quality work and safety footwear and apparel since 1946. That's for the player who doesn't necessarily fill up the stat book, but does all the little things to help his team. As Thomas hits a rocket to center field, line drive, but it's right at Ben Nissel for the second out.
Yeah, sometimes those are the toughest balls to catch right at Ben Nissel. He didn't have to move.
Yeah, Thomas got all that one, just hit it to the wrong spot. If he hits that one to the gap, at 2-run score easily. As Thane Bukowski comes up to the plate. Runners on first and second. 2 outs here for the Bulldogs on the top of the second.
Yeah, Bukowski last inning had turned on an inside pitch and had a double down the right field line.
As Ruthroff's first pitch is over for strike number 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fouls that one off.
That was a good pitch right there by Ruthroff.
Yep.
Low and away to the left-hander. He couldn't do much with it. Thane Bukowski's down 0-2 now.
Real nice crowd here at Lake Central. It turned out to be a beautiful day for baseball. I think some people probably planning on staying away because of the projected weather. It's the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball to the second baseman. Turnbow bobbles it a little bit, but he has time to make the throw just ahead of a diving Thane Bukowski for the third out of the inning. So Ruthroff walks 2, but no damage is done. So after 1.5 innings, Crown Point leads Lake Central 5-4. You're listening to High School Baseball here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois.
Morris Baseball and Softball Center, a new baseball and softball development program in Northwest Indiana, provides instruction for aspiring athletes. The staff at Morris Baseball and Softball Center has over 95 years of combined professional experience, and they provide instruction which includes game-tested methods used by major league teams. Located inside Omni 41 in Schererville, Morris Baseball and Softball provides disciplined, well-organized practices and places players in highly competitive opportunities to achieve success. For more information on Morris Baseball and Softball, the phone number is 227-5250, and the website is morrisbaseballcenter.com.
Sports in the region are about tradition, and since 1946, Berry Brothers in Hammond has built a tradition of quality and service. With a professionally trained sales staff, Berry Brothers offers a selection of quality American-made work boots, safety shoes, and apparel. Located on Indianapolis Boulevard, a half-mile north of Interstate 94, Berry Brothers is devoted to providing exceptional service to ensure the satisfaction of every customer. Berry Brothers is open 7 days a week, and gift certificates are available. The website is berrybros.com.
You're listening to high school baseball coverage on the Region Sports Network and WRTW 90.5 FM, The Key.
Welcome back to high school baseball here on the Region Sports Network. Nathan Laird and Tom Brecken with you. This is Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers presentation of high school baseball. They're the MVPs of MPG. Bottom of the second inning, Crown Point leading Lake Central 5-4. Here's Strack and Van Til scheduled hitters for the Lake Central Indians: Matt Litwicki, Ryan Ruthroff, and Jory Demopoulos.
Yeah, we had that switch there in the last inning with the pitchers. This is Jared Lopez, I believe, batting.
Oh, thank you very much.
The DH came into pitch. Looks like Jared Lopez is now the catcher and hitting in this 9 spot.
So Matt Litwicki did not get in at bat in this ball game. Is that 3-1 pitch well inside, but it's called a strike. Expanding the zone there.
Yeah, every once in a while that happens with umpires.
Yep. Here's 3-2 pitch from Ruiz. That one misses high. Lopez draws the leadoff walk.
Now back to the top of the order for Lake Central Indians. See if they can get something going here after getting a 0 spot in the top of the second.
Ryan Ruthroff comes up to the plate. He walked and scored to open up the bottom of the first for the Indians. Shows bunt. That one misses high and outside. Ruthroff again shows bunt, pulls it back, takes that one low. 2-0 the count. Looks like that one's over for a strike.
Yeah, that was a strike there. Probably a good pitch to bunt. I don't know if he was bunting just to show it or bunting to bunt.
It looked low, and with the way he pulled it back, figured we'd get a ball there, but it's 1-1.
Coach Sandor down at third, traditional signs. We're not yelling numbers and colors and animals and all kinds of stuff for wristbands.
I can tell which system you prefer. Ruthroff bunts it on that one, pops it up back to the net here. It's 1-2.
I'm all for the wristbands in football with no huddle and hurry up. Actually, we do it at Highland, but baseball seems more traditional. I'd like to see them give signs and touch their hat and do all that fun stuff.
A lot of teams nowadays using that wristband system, though. So with 1-2, Ruthroff showing bunt once again with 2 strikes. And he misses that one,
he offered
so he's down on strikes.
Yep. That's a good pitch. Would have been a tough pitch to lay down. Curveball low and into the right-hander.
So that'll bring up Jory Demopoulos. He struck out last inning. Reese throws over to first. Nothing going on over there.
Tell you, if a ball gets by here, there's a lot of room down that right side. Good 70 or 80 feet to that fence behind there.
There's kicking the pitch from Ruiz. Fly ball center field. It's going to go in shallow center. Austin Thomas in shallow center makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
That was a good pitch. A little low. He couldn't do anything with it. Popped him up.
Yeah, jammed him on that one for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Zach Turnbow. Doubled and scored.
Yeah, he hit that rocket down the left field line that hit the fence on one hop. That was an opposite field shot for him, too. He's a left-hander.
First pitch from Ruiz misses low, 1-0.
That's the pitch. I'm not sure what it is. It's like a cut fastball, maybe. Looks like it cuts back to the into the left-hander.
It's got a little bit of late
movement.
It's got a little bit of late movement on there. There's a breaking ball. That misses just high. 2-0.
He is missing with that curveball high when he misses. That's a little scary.
That's
if you're a
that's a dangerous place to miss with a breaking ball.
Yep.
Especially with a hitter like Zach Turnbow's got a lot of pop. Here's a 2-0 pitch from Ruiz. That fastball does not miss on the outside corner. 2-1.
Yeah, it was a good pitch right there. Painted the black on the outside corner. Nothing that Turnbow could do with that unless he was looking the opposite way.
Not a lot of hitters are looking that at 2-0. Here's a kick in the 2-1 pitch. Chopper right back to the mound. Ruiz comes up with it. Throw over to first is low, but Mitch Coy does a nice job in hauling it in for the third out of the inning. 1-3 on the putout. So after 2 complete, it's Crown Point 5, Lake Central 4. We'll be back with the third here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois. Tonight's game is being underwritten by your Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agents in Lake County. Different drivers require different kinds of car insurance. Coverage from house to house isn't always the same, and life policies vary too. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance of Lake County is proud to, in part, underwrite high school sports on 90.5 FM WRTW The Key. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance of Lake County. Your local Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers are proud to be contributing members of the community here in Northwest Indiana. Your local Chevy dealers also pride themselves on their commitment to help you find a vehicle of your choice at a Chevy dealer near you. Our website is ChevyDriveChicago.com. Once again, that's ChevyDriveChicago.com. We look forward to serving you. Chevy runs deep. You're listening to high school baseball coverage on the Region Sports Network and WRTW 90.5 FM, The Key.
We move to the top of the third inning here at Lake Central High School on the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers presentation of high school baseball. Crown Point leading Lake Central 5-4. Nathan Laird and Tom Branken here with you. We'll have the Strike Van Til scheduled hitters as well as the Lake Central defensive alignment in just a moment. We got some defensive movement here for LC. But the scheduled hitters for Crown Point here in this third inning include Mike Wathier, Alex Ruiz, and Andrew Atchison. As Wathier is ahead of this count 3-0.
Yeah, Ryan Ruthroff coming out 3 straight balls. None of them really that close. Mike Wathier walked or struck out last time on a pitch that was away, so maybe this is his revenge.
So he draws the 4-pitch walk. Second straight inning that Ruthroff has walked the leadoff hitter on 4 pitches.
Number 7, Alex.
We got the Strike and Van Til defensive alignment for Lake Central. The outfield from left to right. Colin Studer in left, Ben Nissel in center, Jack Keener in right. It's the left side of the infield that has some changes. Alex Nissel is now at third. Jory Demopoulos is the shortstop. Zach Turnbow at second base. Jake Wisniewski at first, and it's Ryan Ruthroff pitching to the catcher, Tyler Frank.
It's another ball on the first pitch, up and away.
Excuse me, Jared Lopez is now the catcher. That's another defensive change I didn't make on my sheet here.
Yeah, he's batting into that 9th spot now. Subbed for Matt Litwicki.
That's Strike and Van Til defensive alignment. Underwritten by Strike and Van Til, refreshes more than just a word. As once again, Ruthroff is behind in this count to Ruiz. It's 2-0.
Yeah, that's 6 straight balls to start the inning.
No action in the Lake Central bullpen or the Crown Point bullpen. It's that fastball. It's over for a strike.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the schedule, but I think Lake Central's played a lot of games. They played 5 games last week, and they got 5 scheduled this week, so pitching's a premium.
Yep, they had a doubleheader on Saturday that they swept. Take a look at their schedule here in a couple moments. As Ruiz fouls that one off.
That was a good pitch. Not a lot you could do with that. It was down and into the left-hander. Fouled it off his instep.
Two and two the count to Ruiz. Andrew Atchison on deck.
Wathier over at first for Crown Point is getting a great jump when he wants to.
Nice stop there by Lopez. That one was in the dirt. 3-2.
Throw to first in time.
Swing and a miss from Ruiz. Wathier advances down to second base, but Ruiz goes down on strikes.
Yeah, Wathier got a great jump. I mean, there wasn't even a throw down to second on that one.
Now they had no shot of getting him.
So 1 out, man on second. Back to the top of the order, only in the third inning. This is Atchison's third at bat.
Atchison 0 for 1 on the day, struck out in the first, and also later on in the first, he drew a walk.
There's another one hit the front of the plate and bounced over the catcher.
So Wathier's going to advance to third. Wild pitch. What'd you say, Tom?
Yeah, it almost has to be. The catcher can't stop that. I mean, he's getting down low to box it up, and it's catching that front lip of the black on the home plate, and it's shooting it over the top of the catcher. Catcher really has no chance on that. Something you don't see very often.
Ground ball to the shortstop, Demopoulos.
Wow, great throw.
Real nice throw. That gets Atchison. Wathier hesitated there at third base, so he's going to stay there. He probably could have scored on that one after it got underneath the glove of Alex Nissel at third.
Yeah, but he had a great jump. If he'd have gone, he was gone on first contact. If he'd have kept going,
Yep.
I think he'd have been fine, because whether the third baseman made it, would have been a tough play, and definitely from the hole, Demopoulos was not going to make that throw.
So the runner stays at third with 2 outs. Smart.
Be big if Lake Central can strand him here now after that.
Jeff Kozlowski at the plate. 1 for 2 on the afternoon.
Yeah, Wathier had a great jump on that, too. And then held up.
We talked about Lake Central's busy schedule as of late. Played a doubleheader against Lafayette Jeff this past Saturday. They won both of those. Played Whiting last Friday. 10-0 win on that one. LaPorte last week as well. They fell in that one. Chesterton. That goes back a couple weeks, so it's been a busy span here for LC. And coming up, I believe they have a makeup game against Morton on Wednesday.
They've probably got a conference game on Friday and maybe another doubleheader on Saturday. That's 10 games in 2 weeks. That's a lot on your pitching staff.
That 2-1 pitch. Over for strike number 2.
See if they can get out of it after a leadoff walk. Got 2 outs, man on second with a 2-2 count.
This would be huge if Ruthroff can pitch out of it. He's 1 strike away from doing just that.
And again, I hate to bring it up, but do you want to throw curveballs low with that plate the way things are bouncing off of it?
And we've seen a lot of that today.
Great curveball there.
He does that, but it is over for strike number 3. A great pitch there by Ruthroff to end the inning. So Crown Point gets the leadoff walk. They advance the runner to third, but are unable to drive him home. So we're going to the bottom of the third. It's Crown Point 5, Lake Central 4 here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Concussions occur when trauma to the head or spine temporarily interferes with brain function. Seeking medical care as soon as possible is important in making a full recovery and reduces the risk of developing long-term problems. The concussion clinics at Community Hospital in Munster and St. Mary Medical Center in Hobart have a team of medical professionals experienced in evaluating and treating concussions. If you have a head or neck injury, don't wait. Head to the experts. For a head injury on the field, the court, or the ice, the phone number of the concussion clinics is 219-836-4461.
McShane's Total Graphic Solutions puts your company name and logo on just about anything. We offer a full line of custom marketing products and services like custom imprinted mugs, pens, and magnets, quality employee apparel, with custom imprinting and embroidery, executive gifts, customer appreciation and gifts, and so much more. McShane staff can help you select the right items to help you achieve excellent results. McShane's 1-800-837-1400 or online at mcshanes.com. You're listening to high school baseball coverage on the Region Sports Network and WRTW 90.5 FM, The Key.
Here at Lake Central, we're in the bottom of the third inning. The Indians trailing the Crown Point Bulldogs 5-4 in the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers presentation of high school baseball. Nathan Laird and Tom Bryken here with you on 90.5 The Key.
Yeah, Alex Nissel for Lake Central hit that rocket to third base last time.
Alex Nissel, Ben Nissel, and Jake Wisniewski, the Strike and Van Til scheduled hitters for the Indians. As Alex Nissel takes a big swing at that one and comes up empty. It's 1-1. The executive producer of the Region Sports Network is Chris Ramirez. Mike Bonaventura, our chief engineer. Over at WRTW, Jody McManus is the station manager. Another swing and a miss from Alex Nissel. It's 1-2.
Tell you what, all these pitchers have worked really quick today.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's not like watching the major leagues where they're thinking about putting in pitch clocks. These guys get it and go.
Nissel fouls that one back. They do have the pitch clock in between innings with the warm-up tosses and everything. And I went to a game earlier this year. It's kind of weird to look into the outfield and see
anything counting down.
It reminded me of a shot clock in basketball. Right.
It isn't the timelessness of baseball, whatever other traditionalists like.
A lot of changes coming to Major League Baseball soon, it seems like. As Nissel swings and misses at that one, it's in the dirt, so Major's going to have to make the throw down to first. He gets it in plenty of time for the first out.
That was a nice stop by the catcher there.
Now the bat number 10.
That'll bring up Ben Nissel. I'll talk about some of those changes. There's more of a movement now to bring the designated hitter to the National League. That's
Yeah, and with Wainwright going down
Yep.
with the Achilles coming out of the box, that's even more of a discussion now.
Yep.
St. Louis loses their best pitcher for the year.
First pitch to Ben Nissel is low for ball 1.
Yeah, Ben grounded out to third base last time.
Another ground to third baseman. Nice play by Wathier with the stop. High throw. But Coy with the presence of mind to haul that one in and run over to first for the out. Real nice play with the glove there by Wathier. But the throw was off target and his first baseman bails him out.
Yeah, that was hit so hard he had time at first to make the play. That was a rocket one hopper at the third baseman by Nissel.
So 2 quick outs for the Indians here in this third inning. That'll bring up Jake Wisniewski.
Yeah, the outfield took a couple steps back here. Wisniewski last time pounded one into that left center gap.
He tripled, had an RBI tripled, and ended up scoring back in the first. He's down in this count 0-1. It's a ground ball past a diving third baseman for his second hit of the ball game.
Yeah, nice base hit there. Got a ball on the inner half. Just turned on it and hit it between the third baseman and the shortstop.
5th hit of the ball game for the Lake Central Indians. Stay tuned after the game. We'll name the Langle's Pizza Play of the Game, brought to you by Langle's Pizza with locations in Highland, Cherville, and Crown Point. They're online at langlespizza.com. As that first pitch to Keener hits him on the leg, he'll head down to first base. Wisniewski head to second, so with 2 outs, Lake Central's got something brewing here.
Yeah, first and second, 2 outs, and then they're chasing a run still. And the third be really big to get something here with first 2 batters out, bases empty, and scratch runs. Those are huge innings when you make something after 2 outs and nobody on. Colin Studer at the plate, struck out last time looking.
Swinging at the first pitch, he fouls it back by us. 0-1.
Love the netting here around the backstop from dugout to dugout instead of looking through poles and chain link. And
makes it much easier for us to see as well.
It's a great feature a lot of places are going to.
As Studer hits a deep fly ball to left field, O'Keefe keeps going back, and that is out of here. A 3-run shot by Colin Studer gives Lake Central a 7-5 lead. He got all of that one, Tom.
Yeah, he turned on that. That was a fastball. He just stayed back and turned on it. Great swing. Fastball's a little bit up.
Now at bat, number 11.
He barreled it there. The left fielders ran out of room.
Yep.
Figure that was almost straight left field, 325 down the line, 380 to left center. And that cleared it pretty well.
So we were just talking about what's going to be our Langle's Pizza Play of the game, and there's a definite candidate right there.
You know, all 3 runs after 2 outs right there.
As Ruiz's first pitch to Jarrett Lopez misses high. Yeah, they were quickly 2 away in this inning. Strikeout to Alex Nissel. Ben Nissel with a hard ground ball to third base, but then the hit by Wisniewski.
Yep.
Then Ruiz hit Jack Keener, and Colin Studer with a big 3-run shot. It's now 1-1 to Lopez as he swings and misses at that one.
Yeah, you always feel like as a coach you get them first 2. All right, we're out of the woods. Should be a quick inning, and it turns into a 3-run bomb after a hit and a hit batsman.
2-1 as that fastball misses away. No action in the Crown Point bullpen. Lake Central's got a relief pitcher warming up.
Yeah, Ruiz is for Crown Point is at 64 total pitches so far.
Gets Lopez swinging at that one, 2-2.
Yeah, he's throwing the ball well. He's got 38 strikes, only 27 balls. It's making him put it in play, but he just missed on that one, and Lake Central made him pay.
Breaking ball misses high, 3-2. 5 runs, 2 hits, no errors for Crown Point. 7 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Indians. Here's a 3-2 pitch. As Lopez fouls that one back.
See if he comes off speed here.
3-2 pitch.
Yep, that's that high spinner. It looked like he wanted to throw some off speed, and it spun and stayed high.
He missed inside and high, so Lopez heads down to first, and this inning's going to continue for Lake Central. Steve Strayer's going to have a meeting at the mound. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change here.
We've got a courtesy runner for the Lake Central Indians for the catcher.
As James May is going to come out and run for Lopez. New pitcher for the Crown Point Bulldogs. Didn't get a number on him as he's getting set to take his warm-up tosses.
First digit's a 1. I can't tell after that.
That is number 13, Brandon Hazinski.
Yeah, them red numbers on red jerseys outlined in white are tough.
It's real.
It's really tough in basketball. We get tape when we have to scout somebody, and on tape you can't tell numbers. You have to go by who you think it is and try to figure it out as the tape goes on. Munster's notorious for that. They wear the white with a gray outline or a red outline.
You have to kind of judge by the height, I'm sure. That guy's listed as 5'11", but he's...
Yeah, and a lot of times, you know the team's well enough, you know the kid's
Yeah.
mannerisms, and you just figure it out, too. But
Yeah.
here, we're not very close to these guys. It's hard to see sometimes.
So as...
I do think people do that in basketball just for scouting. I really do.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, they make it tough.
For Crown Point, number 13, Brandon Kaczynski.
They got warmed up quick.
Brandon Hazinski is...
Again, all this after 2 outs. 5-4, 2 outs, nobody on. And he had a base hit that through the left side, a hit batsman, and then a bomb. Make it a 7-5 game lead for the Lake Central Indians.
So the line's not completely done on Ruiz just yet. The runner at first, James Mays, is his responsibility. First pitch from Hazinski's in the outside corner for a strike.
Yeah, Hazinski just kind of cocks it and fires.
Yeah.
Really, it's not behind him very long. It's not a rhythmic pitch.
That one's right back to Hazinski. He's going to run over first, underhand it to Mitch Coy to retire the side. But a big 3-run homer by Colin Studer gives Lake Central their first lead of the ballgame after 3 complete. They lead Crown Point 7-5. We'll be back with the 4th inning on the other side of this timeout here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois. Misprint can help your team's identification with team banners, trading cards, personalized team posters, stickers, decals, and fundraising ideas too. Misprint has 2 locations, 8244 Calumet Avenue in Munster and in Hammond at 6931 Calumet Avenue. Both locations open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, and in Munster, Saturdays till noon. Online, it's misprintusa.com. Misprint in Munster and Hammond for custom print, designs, and signs.
At the Crowell Companies, our customers are more than just numbers on a ledger or anonymous people who sign up online. Our customers are the families we see at the ball fields, the grocery store, and all around the community. That's because for nearly 50 years, the Crowell Companies have been part of the community right here in Northwest Indiana, offering personalized custom services that only a local company can provide. For home, auto, and business insurance, it's the Crowell Companies, 923-2131. And online at crowellinsurance.com. The Crowell Companies, home of the insurance superheroes.
You're listening to high school baseball coverage on the Region Sports Network and WRTW 90.5 FM, The Key.
Back at Lake Central for the top of the 4th inning. The Indians leading Crown Point 7-5. We got a new Lake Central pitcher. Jake Wisniewski moves over from his spot at first base to the mound, and he switches places with Ryan Ruthroff, who's the new Indians' first baseman.
Leading off the top of the 4th.
Yeah, it looks like they're
Mark Mazer.
keeping their pitchers fresh here. Using lots of pitchers. Like we said, they had 5 games last week,
Yep.
and they've got 5 scheduled this week.
They got a busy week this week as well, so rotating a new arm every couple of innings. This was Wisniewski kicking the pitch. A shot off the glove of shortstop Jory Demopoulos from that was Mark Major. Got all of that one.
That was a line drive there. That was a good swing. He was looking first pitch fastball from the new pitcher and just roped it.
That would have been a difficult play for Demopoulos, and he almost made that one there at shortstop. But it's going to go into left for a single. That'll bring up Mitch Coy.
We've got a courtesy runner. Number 6, John Dietrich.
Breaking ball from Wisniewski. The outside corner for a strike. You can hear some Crown Point fans not.
I was going to say, with these scout seats right behind home plate, there's nowhere for the umpire to hide on these ball strike calls.
So that one gets away from the catcher Lopez. Dietrich's going to head into second base. Another wild pitch.
Yeah, that may be a pass ball there. He had a chance to body that one up. And
I'll take your word for that. We've seen a bunch of those, either pass balls or wild pitches.
Yeah, that was a hard spinning curveball. Always spins back from where it came. And tough pitch to handle, but probably should have been stopped. He'll probably tell you the same thing as a catcher.
Real nice breaking ball there from Wisniewski. 1-2 now the count. Corey Brown's on deck for the Bulldogs. Runner at second, nobody out.
Another curveball.
Looper to right field. That's going to stay up for Jack Keener. Runner will not be able to advance.
That was a nice pitch. Really nice pitch by Turnbaugh. No, it's not Turnbaugh. Who's pitching right now? Wisniewski. My fault.
There's been so many changes. We'll see. We will probably see Turnbaugh pitch before the day is over. I don't know if he can pitch or does it often, but we might see him.
Yeah,
is that listed as a pitcher on the roster?
Thanks for the backup on there. Way to cover me.
You cover me all the time. As Corey Brown hits one out of play over the left field fence by the LC bullpen.
After taking the lead in the last inning, this is you want to try to come back and shut Crown Point out in this inning if you can.
Nice block there by Lopez on that one.
Always seems to hurt a little bit when you take a lead. And
oh, yeah.
Especially on a 3-run shot like that, and then give something back. And if you're Crown Point, you just want to scrape 1 run so you feel like you're back in it.
So Crown Point got off to a great start in this ball game. 5 runs and just 2 hits in that first inning as that breaking ball by Wisniewski. It's the outside corner of the plate, 1-2.
Yeah, that was a little backdoor curveball there to the left-hander.
You can tell he's got great location. He can spot that breaking ball real well.
Yeah, he trusts it.
Swing and miss from Corey Brown. He's down on strikes for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Austin Thomas.
Yeah, it was a good pitch just off the outside corner to the left-hander in the right-hander box. He had to swing at it. Couldn't do much. Swung right through it. Good pitch by Wisniewski.
Thomas 0 for 1 on the afternoon.
Although he did hit it hard. That was a line drive to center field last time up.
First pitch fastball for strike number 1. That'd be huge for the Indians if they can get out of this. Crown Point got a runner at second, nobody out. And all of a sudden there's 2 outs, and hitters and an 0-2 count after that swing and miss.
Yeah, that was a good curveball. He went fastball outside corner, comes back with an off-speed curveball for a strike that he swung right through. Wisniewski throwing it really well.
Here's the 0-2 pitch in the turf. Lopez blocks it, but it goes down the third base line, so that'll allow Dietrich to advance to third.
Yeah, I don't know whether to call those wild pitches or pass balls from here.
That one was in the dirt, so we're going to call that a wild pitch. So now that runner's on third, 2 outs, a 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Wisniewski is going to get out of it with no damage done. We're going to move to the bottom half of the fourth. It is Lake Central 7, Crown Point 5 here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois. Dr. Paul Wolf and Dr. Sharif McHale of Northwest Oral Surgeons share over 40 years' experience in wisdom teeth extractions, general extractions, oral surgeries, and dental implants. Procedures are done in a comfortable and relaxing atmosphere with general anesthesia or sedation. Northwest Oral Surgeons features 2 locations in Northwest Indiana. In Munster, the number is 836-0044, and in Schererville, the number is 322-0501. Or you can find us on the web at northwestoralsurgeons.com.
Casa Maria Banquet Hall on the grounds of St. Maria Goretti Church in Dyer can serve any event. Our professional staff is always on hand to help with decorating, organizing, and catering. 2 large reception areas mean the hall can accommodate up to 375 guests. Casa Maria offers a choice of family-style or buffet catering with a dining area that features large round tables with seating up to 8. Casa Maria sets the mood with a dignified atmosphere that can impress the guests. Casa Maria Banquet Hall, 865-8956. Nathan Laird and Tom Braken back here at Lake Central High School, the Chicagoland in Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers presentation of high school baseball. Lake Central leading Crown Point 7-5 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Scheduled hitters for LC: Jory Demopoulos, who's at the plate right now, Zach Turnbow, and Alex Nissel. That, of course, underwritten by Strack and Van Til, will have the Crown Point defensive alignment here after this 1-0 pitch. That one from Hasinski is a strike. That had a little bit of a break on it, Tom.
That's a good-looking pitch there, yeah. I just look at the roster. Brandon Hasinski is the only sophomore on Crown Point's roster. Good-looking pitcher. 6'1", 195 they have him listed at.
A little bit of a sidearm action. It's not completely over the top.
Yeah, the ball just kind of jumps out of his hand, it looks like.
Yeah.
We're directly behind home plate in the press box here, and you got to pick that ball up at the top, and it's on its way already. A little different.
Ground ball to the shortstop. Thomas comes up with a cleanly strong throw over to first for the first out.
That was a good pitch there. He threw a fastball low, got a routine ground ball to shortstop.
So Demopoulos now 0 for 3 on the day. That'll bring up Zach Turnbow. The Strack and Van Til defensive alignment for the Crown Point Bulldogs. The outfield from left to right: Joey O'Keefe in left, Thane Bukowski in center, Corey Brown in right. The infield third to first: Mike Wathier, Austin Thomas, Jeff Kozlowski, and Mitch Coy. The battery: Brandon Hasinski. Pitching to Mark Mazer. Beautiful breaking ball there by Hasinski.
That's a great first pitch there.
We're just talking about how the ball just kind of jumps out of his hand, and between that combination and a breaking pitch like that, he's tough to hit.
Yeah, it's a different rhythm. The other pitchers, he had a left-hander, so that's one thing. Change sides of the plate or side of the mound that it's coming from. And Ruiz is a little more flowing. Brandon just kind of pulls it back and lets it go.
Off-speed pitches outside, 1-1. 5 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Bulldogs. 7 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Lake Central Indians.
There's that one that hits the front of the plate again.
2-1.
Ball low.
Yep.
Turnbow had that double on the left field line, and then he grounded out on a check swing to the pitcher last time up.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at that one. 2-2.
Got Alex Nissel followed by Ben Nissel on deck. No, we don't. Yeah, we do. Alex Nissel's up next.
There's a shot past a diving Mike Wathier at third. Second hit of the ballgame for Zach Turnbow.
That was nice hitting by Zach. He took a ball to the left side again. Really keeps that front shoulder in and stays down through the ball. Does a nice job hitting it the opposite field.
That'll bring up Alex Nissel. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Singled, drove in a run, and ended up scoring in the first. Struck out in the third. He's ahead of this one, 1-0 as that pitch from Hasinski misses.
See how Hasinski throws out of the stretch here. First time with a man on base.
There's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss.
Oh, what a swing.
We saw that last time Nissel was up. He's putting some big swings.
If you're gonna bat in the 4 spot, you might as well, right? That's why you're there.
That's right. Here's kick and the pitch. Fouls that one back. 1-2. Ben Nissel on deck for the Indians. Should Alex stay out of the double play.
Alex, a big, strong kid.
Here's Sosinski with the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball hit to center field. Dane Buszkowski runs in underneath it to make the catch for the second out.
That was a good pitch by the sophomore for Crown Point.
So that'll bring up Ben Nissel. He's 0 for 2. Fielder's choice that drove in a run back in the first. He grounded to the third baseman last inning, but that was on a shot.
Yeah, he hit it hard, really hard. He's hit 2 balls to the third baseman so far.
Throw over to first. Turnbow back in time.
Oh,
there's one.
Yep.
Between the first and the second baseman. Solid base hit there by Ben Nissel.
Yeah, it was a nice piece of inside-out hitting there. Just stayed inside the ball and took it where it was pitched.
Turnbow advances to second base. That'll bring up Jake Wisniewski as the Indian bats coming alive once again with 2 outs here. Jake Wisniewski started that 2-out rally last inning with a single. Base hit here probably scores Turnbow from second. Swing and a miss at that one.
That was a big swing there.
Yep. He tried to imitate Colin Studer and take one out of the yard.
Yeah, well, you know, if he would have pulled the one earlier, he might have got it out of the yard when he hit the triple earlier in the left center. He just hit it to a deep part of the park. Once you get to these alleys at 380 and 400 dead center, that's a big park.
As Mazer comes out, has a quick word with Hazinski.
Always seemed to me like it should be the opposite. Down the lines, if you're real early or really late, it should be deeper. And if you really get one on the screws, it should be easier to get it out in the middle. But that would be kind of weird.
That'd be a weird looking outfield.
Yeah, it really would. But it just never seemed like you should be able to be real early or really late and, you know, equaling over a 325.
Yeah. Another big swing there by Wisniewski. Comes up empty. He's down to the count 0-2. Runners at first and second for the Indians. 2 outs. They lead Crown Point 7-5 here in the bottom of the fourth.
See if the sophomore can get out of this with leave guys at first and second.
Fouls that one back.
That was a good pitch in on Jake's hands.
I want to remind everybody you can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Region Sports, or follow us on Twitter at the RSN. That's THERSN. Lots of great stuff right there on our social media for you. Here's the kick and the pitch. Golf swing there, but he fouls it back. Stays at 0-2.
Yeah, it was a good pitch there. Down. Nothing he could do with it, and Jake did a great job just fouling it off. Wisniewski's just pounding the strike zone, though. 20 pitches, he's thrown 15 strikes, only 5 balls.
If Wisniewski's able to get on, Jack Keener would be come up to the plate for the Indians. Another foul ball over our heads. Still 0-2. Wisniewski's really fighting to stay alive here in this 0-2 at bat.
Yeah, this is when it gets fun. Pitcher and the hitter are both battling it out.
Yep.
Almost feels like if Hazinski makes a mistake here, it's going to get hit hard, though.
Yeah, Wisniewski's put some big swings on here. Here's the 0-2 pitch.
Swing away with it.
And a miss, strike number 3. As Wisniewski goes down on strike. So after 4 complete, it's Lake Central 7, Crown Point 5. We'll be back with the 5th here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois.
Triple Crown All-Stars Baseball and Softball Academy in Schererville is a year-round instructional facility featuring a fully AstroTurf building for team practice, batting cages, infield, and pitching mounds. The staff at Triple Crown features years of professional instruction in hitting, pitching, and fielding for both baseball and softball. Triple Crown All-Star Baseball and Softball Academy is located at 2208 US 41 in Schererville, and the number to call to make a reservation is 219-864-0711. The website is triplecrownallstars.com.
Strachan Van Til is a full-service grocery and fresh food store committed to the complete satisfaction of you, our customers. We provide you with a friendly shopping experience in a clean, safe environment. Strachan Van Til remains dedicated to the communities we serve by supporting organizations and events that enhance the quality of life, like Region High School Sports on WRTW 90.5 FM, The Key. To learn more about Strachan Van Til, we are on the web at strachanvantil.com. Quality service and selection. It's a Strachan Van Til thing. You're listening to high school baseball coverage on the Region Sports Network and WRTW 90.5 FM, The Key.
Nathan Laird and Tom Brankin here with you on this Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealer presentation of high school baseball on the Region Sports Network. Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers online at ChevyDriveChicago.com. It's the top of the fifth inning. Lake Central leading Crown Point 7-5. 5 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Bulldogs. 7 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Indians. As the Strachan Van Til scheduled hitters for Crown Point include Thane Bukowski, Mike Wathier, and Alex Ruiz was the scheduled hitter.
Yeah, I was looking to see who's on deck, and I can't tell if Hazinski's going to hit for himself or if he's batting in that ninth spot or not.
Crown Point put up all 5 of their runs back in the
curveball right there.
They put up all 5 of their runs back in the first inning on just 2 hits, a few wild pitches, and an error, and a bunch of walks by Lake Central helped set that 5 runs, but only 1 hit since that for the Bulldogs.
Whoa!
As a shot right up the middle, nice defensive play there by Wisniewski to avoid getting hurt, and the throw from the shortstop Jordan Demopoulos isn't in time. Single there by Bukowski, but most importantly, Jake Wisniewski is okay on that one.
Yeah, that was a rocket right back up the box. Wisniewski barely got out of the way of that.
Yeah, got his glove up too to deflect that a little bit.
Shortstop made a great play.
Yep.
Deep over second base and almost had him.
So just the 4th hit of the ball game for Crown Point. That'll lead off the 5th inning as Mike Wathier comes up to the plate, and Hazinski looks like he's going to hit for himself.
Yeah, Bukowski showed great speed on that too,
yeah.
Beating out that, because that was hit hard. Most batters, that's probably a 6-3 ground out. Bukowski showed that speed earlier with that double too. Tell Lake Central's concerned with him. 2 throws over to first base.
Talked about Bukowski being a key contributor to the Bulldog basketball team. 1-0 now the count to Wathier, but being a basketball player, baseball player, you got to be a great athlete to do both, and at a high level like they do here at Crown Point.
Right, and especially when they put you in center field, you know you've got pretty good wheels. Good pitch.
That's 1-1 now.
I was just going to say, with Bukowski over at first, you'd expect Wathier to see some fastballs here. And he's gotten 2 fastballs so far for a 1-1 count.
Here's 1-1 pitch from us as Bukowski takes off.
Popped it up. He's
popped
go halfway.
It up to right field. Keener's going to come in a long way to make the catch for the first out.
Yeah, he had a great jump there, Bukowski did. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him go again.
Yeah, because I think he takes second base easily if there's no swing on there by Wathier. But he's got to head back to first, and there's now 1 out in the inning for Brandon Hazinski.
Yeah, and if you're a Crown Point here, you just want to get back to the top here and at least try to scratch out a run. Make it a 1-run game with 2 at-bats left.
Throw over to first, not in time. Today's game is underwritten in part by the Randall K. Miss Accounting Group in Cherville. When it comes to business, let Randall K. Miss Accounting put the numbers to work. Phone number is 864-8541. They're online at rkmissgroup.com. That's rkmissgroup.com, as that move almost gets Bukowski at first base. Don't forget, after the game, we're going to name the Crowell Companies Lanternman Superhero of the game, underwritten by the Crowell Companies. They're proud to honor these superheroes on the baseball diamond. It's one of 3 awards Tom and I will hand out after the game. That pitch to Hazinski misses low. 1-0.
Not sure where that was.
Just low. Looked pretty good from up here.
Left to right it was good. It's not up and down. We can't tell that from here.
Breaking ball, Hazinski swings and misses. Bukowski down to second. The throw is in time. Jared Lopez with the throw out to catch a stealing Thane Bukowski for the second out of the inning.
That was a great throw by Lopez, because that was a curveball that Brandon Hazinski swung through just to try to protect the runner. Great throw right on the bag.
So now 2 outs, and Brandon Hazinski down, or excuse me, it's 1-1 now the count. That breaking ball misses 2-1. Andrew Atchison on deck for the Bulldogs. Hazinski's able to get on. And he hits a fly ball to center field. Nissel takes a few steps back, reaches up, and makes the easy grab to retire the side. So Bukowski got a base hit for the Bulldogs in this inning, but he was caught stealing, and 2 other outs. Makes an easy inning for the Lake Central Indians, and we're heading to the bottom of the 5th. They still lead Crown Point 7-5 here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois.
Hey, it's Tara for Christensen Chevy. Christensen Chevrolet is a local family-owned and operated Chevrolet dealership celebrating over 60 years in the community, serving all of Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland. If you stop in, you can see why families and businesses have put their trust in us for generations. At Christensen, we have an enormous inventory of new Chevys with all of your favorite models in stock, ready for immediate delivery. Because that's the Christensen way. We're Christensen Chevrolet, proud sponsor of our great local high school athletic programs on Indy Boulevard in Highland, or visit ChristensenChevy.com.
Sports in the region are about tradition, and since 1946, Berry Brothers in Hammond has built a tradition of quality and service. With a professionally trained sales staff, Berry Brothers offers a selection of quality American-made work boots, safety shoes, and apparel. Located on Indianapolis Boulevard, a half-mile north of Interstate 94, Berry Brothers is devoted to providing exceptional service to ensure the satisfaction of every customer. Berry Brothers is open 7 days a week, and gift certificates are available. The website is berrybros.com.
You're listening to high school baseball coverage on the Region Sports Network and WRTW 90.5 FM, The Key.
Welcome back to the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers presentation of high school baseball on the Region Sports Network on 90.5 The Key and on regionsports.com. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Lake Central leading Crown Point 7-5. The Strachan Van Til scheduled hitters for the Indians in this 5th inning include Jack Keener, Colin Studer, and Jared Lopez. As Keener swings and misses at that 1-0 pitch.
That was a good pitch there, low in the zone. Not much Keener can do with it.
Of the defensive alignment for Crown Point here in just a moment after this pitch from Brandon Hazinski. And Keener swings and misses at 4 strike 2. Joey O'Keefe, Dane Bukowski, and Corey Brown make up the outfield from left to right. Mike Wathier, Austin Thomas, Jeff Kozlowski, Mitch Corey, the infield from third to first. And that battery, Brandon Hazinski, the pitcher, Mark Mazer, the catcher. As Keener fouls that one back to the net. Still 1-2.
Another good pitch in on the hands of the lefty.
Fastball misses high, 2-2.
Yeah, I've been impressed with the sophomore Hazinski so far.
Yeah.
Seems to have good command of the strike zone. Works in and out, up and down.
It's been good in relief of Alex Ruiz, who gave up all 7 runs to the Indians as Keener pops that one up behind home plate. Mazer throws off his mask, comes down with the catch for the first out.
It's a nice play by the catcher. A lot of room here. He's able to turn and face, and the ball's always going to spin back towards the infield, and he played it perfect.
And he threw off his mask right away to make sure he got a good look at that one and the rotation on it, where it was going to come up at, and made the first out of the inning as Colin Studer comes up. Struck out in the first, and in the third he had a big 3-run homer that gave the Indians their first lead of the game as he has a bunt attempt that hangs up in the air, and Mitch Coy slides for the second out.
Wow. Surprised by that after he hit a bomb.
He comes up
bunting.
And that was not a well-executed bunt there by Colin Studer.
Now the first baseman was able to charge it. He kind of jabbed at it a little bit.
Yep. So 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the fifth. That'll bring up Jarrett Lopez.
Jarrett's had 2 good bats. Maybe as the catcher, he sees the ball really well because he's got 2 walks.
And he takes ball 1 there on that high fastball from Hazinski, who's ready with the 1-0 pitch. Fastball, inside corner, 1-1.
I always felt like catchers should have better approaches at the plate after they sit there all day and they're used to where balls are coming from. They've got to pick it up early just like the batter.
Yeah, they should know the strike zone real well.
Almost like their eyes should be trained a little bit better.
He's drawn a couple walks, but he's down 1-2 in this at-bat. Lake Central with action down in their bullpen. Looks like Matt Litwicki warming up.
Fouled another one off.
Stays at 1-2.
See if Hazinski comes back with a real tight curveball here. Maybe start it in at him and jam him inside. He's thrown the last couple of pitches were away.
Hazinski gets the sign from Major, the catcher. Here's the kick and the pitch. Ground ball. Second baseman Kozlowski's going to go into deep right field and make the play. Nice throw over to first. Real good defensive play there by Jeff Kozlowski to retire the side. So 1-2-3 go the Indians here in the bottom of the fifth. They still lead Crown Point 7-5 as we head to the 6th inning here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois.
Morris Baseball and Softball Center, a new baseball and softball development program in Northwest Indiana, provides instruction for aspiring athletes. The staff at Morris Baseball and Softball Center has over 95 years of combined professional experience, and they provide instruction which includes game-tested methods used by major league teams. Located inside Omni 41 in Schererville, Morris Baseball and Softball provides disciplined, well-organized practices and places players in highly competitive opportunities to achieve success. For more information on Morris Baseball and Softball, the phone number is 227-5250, and the website is morrisbaseballcenter.com.
Jack's Warehouse, Northwest Indiana's newest indoor family fun center, is proud to sponsor sports on the Region Sports Network. Jack's Warehouse has fun activities for all ages, including go-karts, bumper cars, SkyTrail, laser tag, and an arcade. Jack's even has glow-in-the-dark mini golf. Located next to Omni on Route 41 in Schererville, Jack's has 6 party rooms available for events and parties. For more information, the website is jakswarehouse.com, and the phone number is 322-JAKS.
You're listening to high school baseball coverage on the Region Sports Network and WRTW 90.5 FM, The Key.
Top of the 6th here at Lake Central High School. Nathan Laird and Tom Branken with you as Lake Central leads Crown Point 7-5 here in the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers presentation of high school baseball. ChevyDriveChicago.com is the website. As Jake Wisniewski still into pitch as Atchison hits a line drive to center field right at Ben Nissel for a quick out number 1.
Yeah, that ball was hit hard first pitch. He looked for fastball, got it, and line drive right to Ben Nissel. That's the second time we've seen him not have to move on line drives right at him.
And that was a real hard hit ball there by Atchison, who is now 0 for 3 on the day. Jeff Kozlowski comes up to the plate. Singled and scored back in the first. A couple of groundouts, or excuse me, a groundout and a fielder's choice and a strikeout since then. He's ahead in this at-bat 1-0. Pop up to the right side of the infield. Second baseman Zach Turnbow has it in shallow right and very quickly 2 away.
Yeah, Wisniewski's working fast, too. I mean, we haven't wasted any time here. Honestly, since that first inning with 9 runs, it's kind of settled down.
Yeah,
he had a
really
3-run home run after in the third, bottom of the third for the Indians. That was after 2 outs. 2 outs, nobody on. Base hit batsman, and a bomb for 3.
Jake Wisniewski making a case to be our Crowell Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game. He tripled at another base hit, and he's thrown a couple real nice innings in relief here for the Indians.
Yeah, it's funny how games, they start like gangbusters and then everybody settles down. Then there's other games that go the opposite way. It seems like it settles down early, and then the 4th and 5th, everybody explodes.
Kind of like that last game you and I did, that Highland Griffith ball game where the Trojans scored 16 runs in the 5th and 6th combined.
Yeah, that did a little of everything, though.
Yeah.
That game started off like we were going to be there for 6 hours in the first inning. Then it settled down with nothing, and then Highland threw up, a 6 spot and a 10 spot in the
Yep.
4th and 5th or 5th and 6th.
They won that ball game 17-4. As ground ball to the third baseman, Alex Nissel. Throws across the diamond in time to get Mark Mazer. And the Bulldogs go down 1-2-3. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Lake Central leads Crown Point 7-5 here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
McShane's Total Graphic Solutions puts your company name and logo on just about anything. We offer a full line of custom marketing products and services like custom imprinted mugs, pens, and magnets, quality employee apparel, with custom imprinting and embroidery, executive gifts, customer appreciation and gifts, and so much more. McShane staff can help you select the right items to help you achieve excellent results. McShane's 1-800-837-1400 or online at mcshanes.com. Your local Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers are proud to be contributing members of the community here in Northwest Indiana. Your local Chevy dealers also pride themselves on their commitment to help you find a vehicle of your choice at a Chevy dealer near you. Our website is ChevyDriveChicago.com. Once again, that's ChevyDriveChicago.com. We look forward to serving you. Chevy runs deep. You're listening to high school baseball coverage on the Region Sports Network and WRTW 90.5 FM, The Key.
Welcome back to Lake Central High School. Nathan Laird and Tom Bracken here with you on this Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers presentation of high school baseball. Lake Central leads Crown Point 7-5 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. As Tom mentioned last inning, it looked like we're going to have a offensive battle in the first inning, and the teams combined for 9 runs, but since then just a 3-run homer by Colin Studer. That's all we've gotten offensively.
Yeah, it's kind of settled down. The pitchers were throwing strikes early. Both pitchers, for each team, I should say, not both pitchers, but they got in trouble by not finding the plate.
Both teams have had impressive bullpen outings here. Hazinski for the Crown Point Bulldogs and Ruthroff and Jake Wisniewski for the Lake Central Indians. As scheduled hitters for the Indians here, top of the order, Ryan Ruthroff, Jory Demopoulos, Zach Turnbow. That's your Stratton Van Til scheduled hitters for Lake Central in this bottom half of the 6th inning.
We talked about Hazinski throwing a lot of strikes. He fell behind 2-0 here to leadoff batter.
There's a strike. It's 2-1 now. Ruthroff 0 for 2 on the day. Walked and scored back in the first. Fouls that one back. 2-2 now the count. He's done a little bit of everything for the Indians today. Started off as the designated hitter. Moved to the mound, now playing first base. It's a shot down the right field line, but that's well foul.
See what the sophomore Bulldog comes back with here. That was a fastball up and away.
Do you have to have a pinch count on Hazinski there?
Yeah, he's at 39. 29 strikes, 10 balls only. Came off speed there, just missed low.
It's 3-2. I've been impressed with him in relief here, though.
Yeah, he's done a nice
He's
job.
done a real nice job.
A good size, good speed on the ball. We can tell from here it moves a little bit. He's locating everything pretty well.
Here's a 3-2 pitch to Ruthroff. There's a ground ball to the second baseman. Thought that was going to get through for a hit. Kozlowski's throw is in time as Ruthroff dives into first head base.
You know, that's the thing here, though. With the turf, the ball gets there a little quicker. The infielders are playing a lot deeper, and they can get away with it because the normal grass field eats those up, and they never get to them. Where here, they're able to stay deeper, it gets to them, and you just make a strong throw.
And it looked like it was going to go right up the middle, and it with the way the ball was spinning, took a bounce back towards the second baseman, Kozlowski.
Yeah, the second baseman for Crown Point's 2 steps behind the painted infield, I should say, because we don't have dirt. It's all turf. He's made 2 plays like that deep. To his
last
right.
2 outs, actually. So that'll bring up Jory Demopoulos. He's 0 for 3 on the day, but he's ahead here, 2-0.
Yeah, I thought both of the plays were going to be base hits, and then you look up and that second baseman's so deep. It's not really a shift. It's just the condition of the field. You can play that deep because the balls aren't getting beat up by grass.
But you're right, he is playing almost where, Major League, you see the shift a lot,
Right.
and where the shortstop comes and plays shallow right, basically, and that's pretty much where Jeff Kozlowski's at. As it's now 3-0 to Demopoulos. Here's a 3-0 pitch. That's a strike.
Yeah, and you can get away with that here on that right side because it's a shorter throw. Obviously, you can't get away with it on the left side of the infield.
Here's a 3-1 from Hazinski. Ground ball to the second baseman. Kozlowski playing deep. Makes the throw over to first. Plenty of time for out number 2.
Another nice play by Kozlowski. Yeah, he's comfortable there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one thing is, as a second baseman, used to be able to have a time to throw to first. He's so deep, he's got to make sure he comes up throwing.
But that would have been, if he was playing, a normal depth on this turf field, that would have been a real tough play for him to make. On natural grass, it would have been a routine play.
Right.
But I think on this turf field, if he was normal depth, that would have been difficult. So that'll bring up Zach Turnbow. He swings at the first pitch, hits a fly ball to left field. Joey O'Keefe raises his glove. Makes catch to retire this side. So once again, 3 up, 3 down for the Lake Central Indians, but they are 3 outs away from a win. We're going to take a timeout, come back with the top of the 7th. Lake Central leads Crown Point 7-5 here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois.
At the Crowell Companies, our customers are more than just numbers on a ledger or anonymous people who sign up online. Our customers are the families we see at the ball fields, the grocery store, and all around the community. That's because for nearly 50 years, the Crowell Companies have been part of the community right here in Northwest Indiana, offering personalized custom services that only a local company can provide. For home, auto, and business insurance, it's the Crowell Companies, 923-2131, and online at crowellinsurance.com. The Crowell Companies, home of the insurance superheroes. Concussions occur when trauma to the head or spine temporarily interferes with brain function. Seeking medical care as soon as possible is important in making a full recovery and reduces the risk of developing long-term problems. The concussion clinics at Community Hospital in Munster and St. Mary Medical Center in Hobart have a team of medical professionals experienced in evaluating and treating concussions. If you have a head or neck injury, don't wait. Head to the experts. For a head injury on the field, the court, or the ice, the phone number to the concussion clinics is 219-836-4461.
You're listening to high school baseball coverage on the Region Sports Network and WRTW 90.5 FM, The Key.
Lake Central 3 outs away from their 14th win of the season, 5th in the Duneland Conference, and handing Crown Point their second DAC loss, but they got to set the Bulldogs down here. Lake Central leads 7-5 here on the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers presentation. High school baseball, ChevyDriveChicago.com is the website. My name is Nathan Lair alongside Tom Branken. We got several defensive changes here for the Lake Central Indians. Jake Wisniewski moves from the pitching mound 2 back to first base where he started off the game. Tyler Frank, who was the starting catcher back this game, replaced by Jared Lopez. Frank is back in the game. And Matt Litwicki now on the hill for the Lake Central Indians.
Yeah, 2-run lead here in the 7th. With, I want to pitch ahead here, see what he does. Good pitch, fastball inside corner.
Yeah, if you haven't had a chance to see Litwicki pitch, he is impressive. Just a sophomore headed for IU when his LC career is over in a few years.
Yeah, it turned a lot of heads when he already decided where he was going to go in his sophomore year.
Mitch Coy, Corey Brown, and Austin Thomas, the scheduled hitters for Crown Point. Those underwritten by Strachan Van Til. So is that defensive alignment for LC as Coy swings and misses at that 1-1 pitch. It's 1-2.
See if he goes off speed here, off the plate, 1-2. Definitely a pitcher's count.
Gets the sign from Frank. His kick into pitch. Fastball chopper to the second baseman. Turnbow comes up with it. Makes the throw over to Wisniewski at first for the first out of the inning.
I like that. Just go right at him with a 2-run lead.
Yeah, you'll notice with Litwicki, he doesn't dance around the mound or anything or on the plate or anything. He'll come right at you. Corey Brown now steps up to the plate. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Lake Central leads Crown Point 7-5.
Yeah, Corey walked his first 2 times up and struck out the last time swinging.
Swings and misses at that fastball. 0-1. Austin Thomas on deck for the Bulldogs. Another fastball by Litwicky. That one misses low. It's 1-1.
Yeah, if you're part of the Lake Central Indian program, you got to like being down 5-0 in the top of the first and coming back and taking a lead. See if you can put this thing away.
Fastball inside corner.
Especially against a conference rival like this.
Definitely showing some mental toughness today to come back. A lot of teams down 5-0 early would fall apart, but not these Lake Central Indians.
Yeah, I really like this. Is the first time I've seen Litwicky at the high school level. Saw him at the younger levels growing up, but really like his windup. It's tight. That front shoulder stays tight, and everything's coming to the plate right at us here behind the home plate. We could see everything's in line.
No wasted movement at all. So that one misses inside. 3-2 the count to Brown. Litwicky gets the sign from Frank. Here's the kick and the pitch. Chopper back to the mound. Litwicky has to come off the hill. Throw over to first for out number 2.
That's a nice play to get off the mound. That wasn't an easy one. That was in that no man's land between third and the pitcher's mound. And he caught it already at his body turned, ready to go to first. That's huge. A lot of kids don't do that. They'll catch it first, facing away from the bag, and then turn. He had his body pivoted already.
And he knew he had time to set his base and make a strong throw over there instead of trying to rush something. Talking about Austin Thomas, he swings at the first pitch, fouls it back as Crown Point's down to their final out in this one. Of course, right after this game ends, Tom and I are going to have some awards to hand out, including our Crowell Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game, the Berry Brothers Blue Collar Player, as well as the Langle's Pizza Play of the Game. We'll do that immediately following the final out of the game. And it could be this very next out here.
Yeah, like I said, the game really calmed down after that first inning. Look at all the zeros up on the scoreboard.
1-1 now the count to Austin Thomas, who steps out of the box. Thomas walked and scored in the first. Hit a line drive to Ben Nissel in center, second time up, and struck out his last time up. Breaking ball from Litwicky misses high, 2-1.
Yeah, I posted a picture to the Twitter account of this field from the press box view. It's just beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Big logo behind home plate with the feathers on it.
Fastball, 2-2.
Great location, low and away.
Oh, if you're a right-handed hitter, how you got to catch up to that one, and even if you do, nothing good's going to happen if you get a piece of that one. Here's 2-2 pitch as Thomas steps out of the box before Litwicky started his windup.
Yeah, the catcher was setting up outside there, Tyler Frank was.
I think you go right back to where that last pitch was.
Yeah, you get a fastball out there, there's not much you're going to do with it as a hitter.
Frank's going to go back. There's the 2-2 pitch.
And they missed up and in.
Yep. 3-2. If Thomas is able to keep the Bulldogs alive, Thane Bukowski would come up to the plate.
Yeah, if you're Lake Central here, the last thing you want is a walk. Don't let anyone on free. Make them earn it. 2 runs isn't a lot, especially with a base runner on.
Thane Bukowski's got a couple hits in this ball game as well.
Yeah, with his speed, he's not an easy out either.
He's got 2 of the 4 Crown Point hits in this ball game. There's a chopper. Second baseman Turbo comes in, fires, makes the throw over to first. Nice play by Zach Turbo to end this ball game. Litwicky sits the Bulldogs down in order, 1-2-3. Lake Central wins this one 7-5. 7 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Indians. 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Crown Point Bulldogs. Lake Central now 14-3 overall in the year, 5-3 in the Duneland Athletic Conference. Crown Point falls to 11-6 overall, 6-2 in the DAC. So Tom and I, as I mentioned, we have some awards to hand out for today's ball game. Let me flip to that section here of my paperwork. First, we're going to name the Langle's Pizza Play of the Game, underwritten by our friends at Langle's Pizza in Highland, Cherville, and Crown Point. Their menu is online at langlespizza.com. And Tom, there's really only one choice today for the Langle's Pizza Play of the Game.
Yeah.
It's an easy choice. We didn't have to do much thinking, which is probably a good thing for us.
Yeah, it ends up being the game-winning hit. Colin Studer in the third. The Lake Central Indians were facing a 5-4 deficit, came up with 2 outs, 2 men on, and hit a bomb high fly ball to left field that carried everything for a home run. Gave him the lead. Ends up being the game-winning hit too.
Yeah, he hit that one to the shallowest part of the field. That wasn't a cheapie by any means, though.
No, it wasn't. That fence goes out pretty quick and left. That's probably still 360 where he hit it to.
Yeah. So that big 3-run homer by Colin Studer is our Langle's Pizza play of the game. Again, Langle's Pizza in Highland. 2 locations in Cherville. They're also in Crown Point. LanglesPizza.com is the website. Our next award is the Berry Brothers Blue Collar Player of the Game, underwritten by our friends at Berry Brothers, providing quality work and safety footwear and apparel since 1946. They're located 1/2 mile north of 8094 on Indianapolis Boulevard in Hammond. And Tom, the Berry Brothers Blue Collar Player of the Game, not for the guy who fills up the stat sheet or anything like that, just the guy who does all those little things to help his team either get the victory or compete in the ball game. And we had a young man who came off the bench today to earn this award.
Lake Central's, was it Jared Lopez?
Yep.
Yeah, Jared Lopez did a nice job, came in, he was catching for him, did a nice job behind the plate, threw out a runner that was at the 6th, Crown Point had a base runner on, or 5th, and did a nice job gunning out Bukowski, who showed great speed.
Yep.
So the kid did a little bit of everything and then worked his tail off coming off the bench.
He also drew 2 walks at the plate as well as his first 2 at-bats. It's hard to come off the bench and come up to the plate. In your first 2, you draw 2 walks, help his team get on base. So Jarrett Lopez, our Berry Brothers Blue Collar Player of the Game, because I have to imagine coming in off the bench to catch in a game, not the easiest thing in the world.
It's probably tough just to get in the rhythm of the game, right?
Yep. So he is a definite deserving winner of that one. We got one final award to hand out. That's our Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game, underwritten by, of course, the Crowell Companies. They have offices open from 9 to 9 Monday through Friday and Saturdays till 2 in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City. They're the insurance superheroes, and they're proud to recognize the superheroes on the baseball diamond. And who is our Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game?
Yeah, none other than Lake Central's Jake Wisniewski. He did fill up the stat sheet. 2 for 3, scored 2 runs. He had a base hit, and he had a big triple in the first inning to score a bunch. He also came in and pitched at the 4th, 5th, and 6th. Looked really good, gave up no runs, and really calmed the team down.
Yep.
Didn't give up many base runners, pitched ahead in the count most of the time, but he filled up the stat sheet for sure. Really was the star of the game for Lake Central and of the game.
Yeah, Jake Wisniewski also played some nice defense at first as well. Our definite deserving winner of the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Region Sports Network coverage of high school baseball on 90.5 The Key and online at regionsports.com. It is underwritten by the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. They're the MVP of MPGs. The Crowell Companies, your insurance superheroes. Berry Brothers, a tradition of quality and service since 1946. McShane's Business Products and Solutions since 1921. The Lake County Agents of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Strack and Van Til, where fresh is more than just a word. Christensen Chevrolet in Highland, driving the American dream. The concussion clinics at Community Hospital in Munster and St. Mary Medical Center in Hobart. Misprint in Munster and Hammond for custom print, design, and signs. Morris Baseball and Softball Center, providing elite instruction. The Randall K. Miss Accounting Group, putting the numbers to work. Jack's Warehouse, great entertainment for the whole family. Triple Crown Baseball and Softball Academy, where the All-Stars train. Casa Maria Banquet Hall in Dyer, making your special event an unforgettable experience. Langle's Pizza in Highland, Cherville, and Crown Point. Northwest Oral Surgeons, over 40 years of experience in Munster and in Cherville. And by the Town Club Restaurant, Steak and Seafood, for over 65 years. The executive producer of the Region Sports Network is Chris Ramirez. Our chief engineer is Mike Bonaventura. Jody McManus, the station manager on 90.5 The Key WRTW. Thank you very much for all your assistance once again. Jody, the athletic director here at Lake Central High School, is Tony Bartolomeo. My name is Nathan Laird. Tom Branken, thanks for joining me on the broadcast today. Any final thoughts on today's game?
Yeah, it was a nice win for Lake Central against conference opponent, conference rival like that after being known 5-0 in the top of the first and battling back and winning a game 7-5. And if people haven't seen this facility, it's amazing. Hats off to Lake Central for building a first-class facility. Yep. When the football's done, I'm sure that stadium's going to be at the same standard. But as baseball facilities go, I can't imagine anything better in the state of Indiana. Yeah,
definitely got to come check this one out if you haven't as well before this 2015 regular season comes soon. And so, Tom, thanks again for joining me. Great job in today's broadcast.
I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Yep. And, of course, want to thank all of our underwriters and sponsors. Without them, Region Sports Network coverage of high school sports would not be possible. Also want to thank you, the listeners, here on 90.5 The Key. Of course, online at regionsports.com. So stay logged on to regionsports.com. Or you can also follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/regionsports, or on Twitter at the RSN. That's THERSN for the updated broadcast schedule as the regular season creeps to a close here as the tournament gets started in just a couple weeks. It's hard to believe the baseball tournament's pretty much just around the corner, but that is the case here in Northwest Indiana. So for everybody at the Region Sports Network, my name is Nathan Laird saying thanks for listening. You have been listening to high school baseball here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois.